Hey guys, in this video I'll be comparing 2024 Olympia winning Samson Dauda and 2003 Olympia winning Ronnie Coleman. Both Ronnie and Samson's versions are among the heaviest Olympia champions ever, with Samson actually being the heaviest Olympia champion if I'm not mistaken. Remember, in a comparison with around 20 years between the two competitors, the angles of the photos and the quality of them won't be one-to-one, so keep that in mind. Anyways, if you guys are enjoying these videos, a like and sub would be awesome, and do let me know in the comments down below who you have coming out on top. With that all said though, let's get into this comparison. The front double immediately showcases the stark differences between these two champions. Although Samson has a few solid pounds over Ronnie, it really looks as if Ronnie is twice the size of Samson in certain areas. He's winning the arms and lats for certain. However, Samson compares favorably in the quad size and separation, and easily takes the midsection and V-taper. By 2003, Ronnie had kind of lost all semblance of shape, looking like a pure blob of muscle on top of muscle. He is undeniably freakish in this pose, possessing some of the best arms, lats, and quads of all time, and would probably take this one due to the sheer size and condition. However, Samson isn't getting dwarfed and has the aesthetics to expose Ronnie's lack thereof, so I could see some people choosing, Samson this pose. However, objectively, I think Ronnie is just a little too big. The front lat spread is again a Ronnie pose due to the sheer mass and condition that he presents. Look at the difference in the lats, chest, and quads. Even though Samson's arms and quads appear similar in size, the raw quality and fullness that Ronnie has in those areas is just something else. He easily is winning in the lats, and the general filling out of the pose has striations for days upstairs and perhaps a better midsection as well. While Samson poses his legs in a wider stance, which does accentuate the inner leg thickness, he still is not outsizing Ronnie nor out-detailing him. I think his biggest weakness in this pose are his highly inserted lats, which look really undersized next to Ronnie's. However, alone his imposing structure and width are very impressive. Had his midsection been a bit more defined, and maybe if he had a bit better, lats, I'd say, he could have challenged Ronnie on the basis of shape. However, as it is, Ronnie completely smokes him. The side chest is a much closer pose because Samson's thickness from the side is his strongest point. He's rivaling Ronnie in the chest, arm, and even side leg size. However, Ronnie one-ups him in the finer details all over. Look at the difference in the striations of the pec. I mean, Ronnie even has some in the near pec, whereas Samson's aren't peeled inside and out. I will say that I prefer Samson's side leg positioning and his more old school posing in general. However, the sheer thickness and detail of Ronnie really puts the difference in levels into perspective. Samson is a true champion and in my opinion deserved his win. However, Ronnie's 8 wins speak for themselves when comparing these two. Now, I have no doubt that Samson with harder, grainier condition would come much closer to Ronnie, especially in this pose. However, I think that Ronnie's density and intricate lines are a bit too much as of now. The rear double is a win for Ronnie, just getting that out of the way. However, Samson actually fares far better than I thought he would have. He has really brought up his back to contend with the best ever, and had he been in similar condition to Ronnie, I think that their backs would actually be very comparable. Now, Ronnie does have those lower inserted lats. However, Samson's superior symmetry and competitive thickness do give even Ronnie a run for his money. That said, when you look downstairs, it is really game over, with Ronnie having the best glutes and hamstring combo of all time. Samson's, definitely improved. However, his hamstrings and glutes are still lacking, especially against the best of all time. Now, he could also use better delt and arm separation. However, as a whole, he should be very proud since his rear double is very solid, just obviously not enough to beat the best ever. The rear lat spread is a similar story, with Samson losing the lower body convincingly. He puts up a very solid fight in the back, I would say, actually having what appears to be a thicker lower back. However, that crispy Christmas tree and fine separation on Ronnie's back is something else. I mean, he's literally leaning forward, which does detract from the width, yet he still looks just as wide, if not wider than Samson in the lats, which is just crazy. This is a common theme with Ronnie, as his posing execution was never his best point. However, his mass and crazy development, along with his great condition, always made up for it. Speaking of posing execution, the side tricep is probably Ronnie's worst pose yet. While he is actually posing rather well, his wide waist, flat tricep, and mediocre side leg positioning really are not helping his case. To give him the benefit of the doubt though, let's say that he's angled towards the judges, and to just assume that his side leg looked like it did in the side chest. Now, even if this was the case, I still think that Samson's overall package is still far superior. Look at how he dwarfs Ronnie in the tricep, has a picture-perfect waistline, and even the chest and delt look grainy and sharp. Sure, he doesn't have that paper-thin skin condition, however, the shape and flow are something that Ronnie also doesn't have, and I think that this disparity alone is enough for Samson to win. The ab and thigh is another win for Samson, with him making a strong comeback to what was a dominant early run for Ronnie in this comparison. Samson's abs are so much more aesthetic compared to Ronnie, and his waist showcases minimal oblique spillage and is twice as small as Ronnie's as well. Keeping that in mind, his frame is probably just as wide as Ronnie's, which makes his V-taper all the more impressive. While Ronnie does have fuller lats and, in my opinion, better quads overall, Samson's X-frame and shape coupled with that superior midsection wins him the pose. He's not far behind in condition and looks great, and his aesthetic, proportional, and balanced look should be the standard in a pose like this. That said, the most muscular completely disregards proportion and balance, with sheer size and conditioning prevailing over all else. Ronnie embodies that statement, bringing crazy lines in the chest, legs, and arms, a wide, uncontrolled waist, and mass for days. Samson isn't what you'd call aesthetic in this pose either. However, his waist is tight, his arms and quads are massive, and his chest has some nice cross striations as well. Although by today's standards, Samson would be considered a freak and a mass monster, and probably by really any period standards as well, against Ronnie, nobody can really win. Now, I'm not a fan of that waist, however, there is no denying that his muscularity is unbeatable. Well guys, that's about it for this comparison. I had Samson only winning 2 poses, with Ronnie taking 6, leading to a rather dominant win for Ronnie. So do let me know in the comments who you had winning, and let me know if you enjoyed it as well. With that said, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.